I'm from Group 3 and today our group will present to you the chapter 16, that is how to motivate employees in the workforce. This is our team members. We have 4 people in our team. And these are some key learning objectives that we must remember after learning this chapter. So first, let's move to the first part, that is the definitions of motivations. So motivation basically refers to the process by which a person efforts are energized, directed, and sustained toward attaining a goal. These definitions have 3 key elements. The first one is energies. The energy element is a measure of intensity, drive, and vigor. A motivated person puts forth effort and work hard. However, the quality of the effort must be considered as well as its intensity. The second element is the directions. So high level of effort don't necessarily lead to favorable job performance unless the effort is channeled in the directions that benefits the organizations. Effort directed toward and consistent with organizational goals is the kind of effort that we want from employees. And the last elements of motivations is the persistence. So we want employees to persist in putting forth effort to achieve those goals. So to move on, we will begin by looking at these 4 early motivations theory. So these early theories are important because they represent the foundation from which contemporary motivation theory were developed. So the first one is Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory. So this theory is quite familiar with us because we have studied it in the principle of economics. You can see that in the physiological need, it is a person need for food, drink, or shelter, and other physical needs. And higher than that is a safety needs. This is a person needs for security and protection from physical and emotional harm. The third level is about a social need. This is a person needs for affections, belongingness, acceptance, and friendships. The higher one is esteem needs. This needs is a person needs for external factor like self-respect, and the higher one is term needs. So this needs is for internal factor and external factor. For internal factors such as self-respect and achievement. For external factors such as status, recognitions. And the highest level of this theory is self-actualizations. So this is a person needs to become what he or she is capable of becoming. So we move on to the mixture theory X and theory Y. Very simply, theory X is a negative view of people that assume workers have little ambitions, dislike work, want to avoid responsibility, and need to be closely controlled to work effectively. Otherwise, the theory Y is a positive view that assumes employees enjoy work, seek out and assess responsibility, and exercise self-directions. So, Ms. Chujo believes that theory Y assumptions should guide management practice and propose that participation in decision-making, responsible and challenging job. So now we will look at Herbert's 2-factor theory. So this theory is the motivation theory that claims that extrinsic factors are related to job satisfaction and motivations, whereas intrinsic factors are associated with job dissatisfaction. So the extrinsic factors that create job dissatisfactions were called hygiene factors. These factors are adequate. People won't be dissatisfied, but they won't be satisfied or motivate either. So to motivate people, Herbert suggests emphasizing motivator and intrinsic factors having to do with the job itself. To move on, we will find out about the 3 needs theory. So in this theory, we have the 3 main needs that the employee need in the workplace. The first one is need for achievement. This drive to success and excel in relations to a set of standards. The second need is the need for affiliations. So this need is the desire for friendly and close interpersonal relationship. And the last one is the need for power. So this is the need to make others behave in a way that they would not have behaved otherwise.
In part 3, we're going to talk about contemporary theories of motivations. First, we have the goal-setting theory is the proposition that specific goals increase performance and difficult goals, when accepted, result in higher performance than do the easy goals. And the second one is self-efficacy. It's an individual belief that he or she is capable of performing a task. Next, we have the goal-setting models. And this model summarizes the relationships among goals, motivation, and performance. We can see that hard and specific goals is a powerful motivation force. This can lead to high performance, but not job satisfaction. And we have the reinforcement theory. It's the theory that behavior is a function of its consequences. And we have the reinforcers is the consequences immediately following a behavior, which increase the probability that the behavior will be repeated. Because manager want to motivate individual on a job, we need to look at the way they design motivating jobs. And job design is the way tasks are combined to form complete jobs. And job scope is the number of different tasks required in a job and the frequency with which those tasks are repeated. The job enlargement is the horizontal expansion of a job that occurs as a result of increasing job scope. And another approach to job design is job enrichment. It's the vertical expansion of a job that occurs as a result of additional planning and evaluation of responsibilities. Job depth is the degree of control employees have over their work. And job characteristic model, or JCM, is a framework for analyzing and designing jobs that identify 5 primary core job dimensions, their interrelationships, and their impact on outcomes. 5 core jobs dimensions include: the first one is skill variety, the degree to which a job requires a variety of activities so that an employee can use a number of different skills and talents. The second is task identity, is the degree to which a job requires completion of a whole and identifiable piece of work. We have the task significance, is the degree to which a job has a substantial impact on lives or work of other people. Autonomy is the degree to which a job provides substantial freedom, independence, and discretion to the individual scheduling the work and determining the producers to use in carrying it out. And the second one is feedback, the degree to which doing work activities required by a job result in an individual obtaining direct and clear information about effectiveness of his or her performance. And we have the job characteristic models. We can say that skill variety, task identity, task significance can lead to experience meaningfulness of the work, which can lead to high performance and high satisfaction. And we have the resigning job design approaches. The relational perspective of work design is an approach to job design that focuses on how people, tasks, and jobs are increasingly based on social relationships. A proactive perspective of work design is an approach to job design in which employees take the initiative to change how their work is performed. We have the high involvement work practice. Is work practices designed to elicit greater input or involvement of worker. And next we have the equity theory. Equity theory is the theory that an employee compares his or her job input outcome ratio with that of relevant others and then corrects an inequity. Reference is the person, system, or self against which individual compare themselves to assess equity. Distributive justice perceives fairness of the amount and allocation of rewards among individuals. Next, we have the procedural justice. Is a perceived fairness of the process used to determine the distribution of rewards. And in this, we have the equity theory models. Only if outcome A and input A equal outcome B and input B will lead to equity. Any other situation can lead to inequity. And expectancy theory is the theory that an individual tends to act in a certain way based on the expectation that the act will be followed by a given outcome and on the attractiveness of that outcome to the individual. We have the expectancy relationship. Expectancy or effort-performance linkage, the perceived probability that an individual efforts will result in a certain performance. Instrumentality is the perception that a particular level of performance will result in attaining a desired outcome or reward. And valence is the attractiveness or importance of the performance reward outcome to individual. And we have the expectancy models. Part 4 is about current issues in motivation. The first one is motivating in tough economic circumstances. The economic recession of the last few years was difficult for many organizations, and layoffs, tight budget, minimal or no pay rise, benefit cuts, no bonuses, long hours doing the work of those who have been laid off was reality that many employees face. And the second issue is managing cross-cultural motivational challenges. Most current motivation theories were developed in the United States by Americans and about only Americans. Managers can automatically assume motivational programs that work in one geographic location are going to work in others. The third one is motivating unit groups of workers, compressed work shifts, longer daily hours but fewer days, flexible work hours, specific weekly hours with varying arrival, departure, lunch, and break times around certain core hours, during which all employees must be present. And job sharing is two or more people split a full-time job. Telecommuting is employees work from home using computer links. And we have the motivating professional. The characteristic of professional are strong and long-term commitment to their field expertise. Loyalty is to their profession, not to the employer. Have the need to regularly update their knowledge and don't divide their work week at 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We have motivating contingent workers is the opportunity to become a permanent employee, opportunity for training, equity in compensation and benefits. And motivating low-skill minimum wage employees, which is the employee recognition program's provision of sincere praise. And next we have the deciding appropriate rewards program. The first one is open book management, a motivational approach in which an organization's financial statement or the book are shared with all employees. Employee recognition programs are the programs beyond the personal attention and expression of interest, approval, and appreciation for a job well done. A pay-for-performance programs a variable compensation plan that pay employees on the basis of some performance measure.
So hello everyone, it's me again. So now I will answer all the questions in the case application 1 of the chapter 16. So this is all the case about passions for the outdoors and for people. For the first questions, after reading the case in the textbook, it seems like Patagonia meets the basic of physiological need. Example like Patagonia check the minimum wage of each country in which it makes products and work toward a higher and a fair living wage. Secondly, Patagonia also frequent visits to the factory by internal staff. And last but not least, many of factories work with Patagonia already pay above the minimum wage to some or all of their workers. Moreover, security needs is the second one have met Patagonia culture. Patagonia continuously push themselves to lead an exempt life and improve social and environmental conditions, and they also encourage their suppliers to do the same. Additionally, Patagonia will not do business with factories where they find harassment or discriminations. For the question 2, I strongly believe that wage increasing is the best and the only solution to motivate the worker. All the jobs have to pay fairly so that the employees do not feel a section is being favored. Managers level must search what other organizations that are competing in the same labor market are buying for their employees. So for the question 3, I believe that Patagonia has take very good care of the employees. It has offered employees by giving them responsibility for the outcomes of their work and a high level of task significance that their work is meaningful because it contributes to the purpose of protecting and preserving the environment. Honestly, I don't think Patagonia still has to worry how to keep its employees' motivations because they have a perfect working environment for its employees. And for the questions 4, so regardless the profit of the company, I will offer each employee has a short 1 week vacation in each year. For me, this will motivate our employees to stay with company until retirement, of course, because the salary has met the same positions in other organizations. So let's move on to the case application 2. This is the case about the best practice at the Best Buy. So for the questions 1, ROWE is about changing the work culture of the organization, which is infinitely more difficult than changing the schedule. So the advantage of ROWEs is that it creates an environment of trust where employees are treated as adults accountable for getting work done on their own schedule. Employees are also empowered from knowing that their superiors trust them to get the job done. On the other hand, ROWE has its significant drawback. It's about the loss of synergy. For the question 2, one of the motivation theories from the chapter is about implementing ROWE. It's because ROWE was a culture audit at a company headquarters. It helped us to establish a baseline for how employees perceive their work environment. And for the question 3, I believe that there are many challenges for a manager to motivate employees in the program. So the first challenge may be that the managers must determine the motivation and the outline. It is the growth in achieving the goals of the organizations and encourage high level of performance in employee. The second challenge is about how the managers can identify the difference between groups and the team used at work. Moreover, how managers can identify the cause and the consequence of a team conflict, therefore having a best solution to solve this problem, to motivate employees to work better and have more effective performance in their work. For the questions 4, I strongly believe that yes, it sounds like something I would be comfortable with because through the practice it makes work more easily than ever. We can work and learning with each other employees regardless of rank. This means the company may achieve an excellent result because we can share our opinion. And for the last questions, the statement work is something you do, not a place you go. So I strongly agree with this statement in the company because work is based on an activity or a job. It's not about a place because it is just a place for the job to be safe. In other words, place is formal for any job to survive, and jobs are important to our society. When you work, you contribute to the community, you help and make the economy and your community stronger.
Hello guys, in chapter 17 we are talking about an effective leaders. So now let's think who is leaders and what is the leadership. Leaders is someone who can influence on others and who have managerial authorities. Leadership is the process of leading the group of people and having the effects on that group to achieve its goal. It's what the leader does every day, every moment. All the manager in the organization you see every day on television or in reality should be the leaders, because leading is one of the 4 management functions. In this part of chapter 17, I'm making comparison and contrasting the leader behaviors. Early attempt to define the leader traits were unsuccessful, although the later attempt found out a characteristic with the leadership. What are they? They are drive, desire to lead, honesty, integrity, self-confidence, intelligence, job relevance, knowledge, extroversion, and proneness to give. In fact, in reality, the study of leadership is quite infinitely large. So different people, different culture, different community has the different perception on the leadership. For instance, the University of Iowa study explored 3 particular leadership styles, while the Ohio State in the same countries identify only 2 dimensions: initiating, structure, and consideration. And additionally, the University of Michigan study look at employee-oriented leaders and production-oriented leaders. In the first session, we examined 3 contingency models. Initially, filter contingency model recognized the best style to use in particular situation, and the filter measure the leader behavior, whether relationship-oriented or task-oriented, by using preferred coworker questionnaires. Another theory of the Hersey and Blanchard focus on the follower readiness. They also realize for leader behavior, styling, telling, participating, and delegating. And finally, the Bath goal model developed by Robert House ascertained 4 leader strengths: directive, supportive, participative, and achievement oriented.
I will present the learning object 4 and 5 in chapter 17, that is the contemporary views of the leadership. First of all, that is leader-member exchange theory, we call LMX. That is, say, leader creates a group, a in-group and out-group, and those in the in-group will have the higher performance ratings, less turnover, and greater job satisfaction. Nextly, transactional leaders. That is a leader who leads primarily by using social exchange. Next, transformational leader. That is who stimulate, inspire followers to achieve extraordinary outcome. We also have the charismatic leader. This is enthusiastic, self-confident leader whose personality and action influence people to behave a certain ways. Visionary leadership, that is the ability to create, articulate realistic, credible, and objective visions of the future that improves upon the present situations. Next, we move to the team leadership. Many leaders are not equipped to handle the change to the employee team. A team's leader job is to focus on 2 main points: managing the team external powering and facilitating the team process. Next, we move to the managing the power. We have 3 points for that. Legitimate power, the power a leader has result of her position. Coercive power, reward power, expert power, reference power. We all have 2 main points for developing trust: credibility and trust. There are 5. We also have 5 dimensions of the concept of trust: integrity, competence, consistency, loyalty, and openness. Hello everyone, I will answer the questions in case study 1, growing leader, in chapter 17. The first question is what do you think about Bucky's statement that leader and manager differ? Do you agree? Why or why not? Personally, I fully agree with the Bucky's statement. Leaders and managers are different because leaders are more influence and inspires to the other, while managers are more to the job position that control the situations or tasks by follow the process or method. We can refer back to the definition of leadership itself. It's what defined as an ability to influence a group towards the achievement of goal. As Bucket said, a leader is much about inspirations as anything else. A manager is more about process. The second question is, what leadership model theory issue do you see in this case? Well, I think leadership issue is that it is not easy for a leader to pop out nowhere. The case states people think that if you graduate from the Ivy League or well-rated school that you are smart and ready to run a business, which is not true. It is hard to find somebody worthy and one who use their heads to figure out the problem and new idea rather than the internet and outside help. A theory believes that in building a great leader is to focus on the things that can be developed, like strategic thinking. Bucky also believes that leaders should not be promoted up through the organization too quickly. They need time to experience failure and what it takes to rebuild. The third question is discuss how the attributes might develop and measure. Well, I think the six leadership attribution, including ability to chart the course, energize and inspire others, demonstrate ethics, integrity and compliance, deliver results, rise above and innovate resourcefully. Integrity means a element of word action with inner value. It means sticking to this value even when outer path may easier, more advantageous. A leader with integrity can be trusted and will admired for sticking to strong value. They also act as a powerful model for the people to copy, thus building an entry organization with a powerful and effective cultural value.